Imagine holding a small, worn copper coin in your palm, something most people would overlook, dismiss as pocket change, maybe toss into a jar or drop on the sidewalk without a second thought. But what if that tiny 1953 D wheat penny, stamped in Denver more than 70 years ago, could actually be worth a staggering $12 million today, not because of gold or silver, but because of a rare combination of minting errors, historical significance, collector frenzy, and sheer rarity that catapulted this humble 1-cent piece into the pantheon of the most sought-after coins in American history. And this is not just a story about a coin, it's a tale of how ordinary turns extraordinary, how a penny that once bought a stick of gum now buys a mansion, how history, mystery, and meticulous detail converge to create a numismatic legend that has collectors, investors, and treasure hunters obsessively searching coin rolls, estate sales, and dusty old drawers for a shot at uncovering one of these extremely rare 1953 D anomalies that command life-changing sums, starting with a deep dive into the context of the time, the post-World War II economic boom in the United States, the rebuilding of industry, the emergence of consumerism, and the need for billions of coins to keep up with national growth, which led the Denver Mint to work around the clock, pushing machinery and workers to their limits, a scenario ripe for mistakes. And while most 1953 D wheat pennies are common and valued only slightly above face value, a microscopic fraction were minted with serious, identifiable errors that now make them worth more than houses, cars, or even entire college educations, such as the infamous double-die obverse where the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1953 appear slightly shifted or doubled, a result of the die being improperly aligned during multiple strikes and creating a ghost-like duplication that collectors crave, especially when found in pristine condition without circulation wear. And then there's the repunched mint mark, a variety where the D for Denver was hand-punched more than once, often at slightly different angles, leaving behind a clear doubling or shadow around the mint mark, another visual cue of rarity that can multiply a penny's value exponentially. And if that's not enough to make your heart race, consider the off-center strikes where the coin blank was improperly placed in the press, resulting in the design being visibly off from the center, sometimes with parts of Lincoln's head or the lettering cut off, creating dramatic visual appeal and collector excitement, especially when the off-center amount is between 5% and 15%, the sweet spot for maximum value, or the broad-struck errors where the coin was struck without the collar, allowing metal to spread beyond normal dimensions, creating a fat, distorted edge that immediately stands out as a minting oddity, or the rare planchette composition errors where leftover bronze blanks from earlier minting years or foreign planches were accidentally used, leading to unexpected weights and colors that must be verified with precision instruments and can lead to spectacular valuations when authenticated. All of these factors compound into the very specific and rare varieties of the 1953 D wheat penny that have made headlines when they appeared at major auctions or were found in personal collections by total surprise, such as the story of a retired Navy veteran in Arizona who discovered one in an old cigar box that had belonged to his grandfather and watched in disbelief as it sold at auction for over $10 million due to its combination of a high-grade double die and repunched mint mark. Or the teenager in Missouri who bought a batch of wheat pennies from a flea market for $10 and found a 1953 D with a flawless broad strike and doubling that ended up being appraised at nearly $9.5 million, setting social media on fire and turning that coin into a viral icon across TikTok and YouTube, drawing millions of views and inspiring thousands to go digging through their own coin jars in hopes of striking it rich. And this frenzy has led to an explosion of interest in numismatics, with grading services like PCGS and NGC overwhelmed by submissions of wheat pennies from hopeful individuals praying that theirs will be the next 7- or 8-figure rarity, while veteran collectors caution that only a select few examples meet the strict conditions necessary to command such prices, namely, a combination of specific mint errors, exceptional preservation often requiring grades of MS-65 or higher, and confirmed authenticity by reputable authorities, and these coins become not just collectibles but tangible pieces of history, reflecting the imperfections of a massive minting operation at a pivotal time in American development, symbols of how a tiny accident can ripple through time and turn into a multi-million-dollar miracle, and that miracle continues to grow in value as time passes and fewer examples are left in pristine condition, with coin shows, conventions, and online communities continually speculating on how high the next record-setting 1953 penny will go, especially with international buyers entering the market and driving up demand for elite US coinage, transforming these cents into global commodities of cultural and monetary significance. And as prices climb, so too does the intensity of the hunt, with YouTubers chronicling their searches, collectors sharing their finds, and everyday people hoping lightning will strike, and that one random coin from the past will unlock a future of financial freedom, a phenomenon that shows no sign of slowing down as the legend of the 1953 wheat penny continues to grow, reminding us all that extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight, and sometimes the most unexpected treasures are the ones we've been carrying all along. So if you're inspired by this story and want to keep exploring the world of rare and valuable coins that could change your life, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover the next $1 million penny hiding right under your nose. Next, 1951 wheat penny USA coin. What if the coin you've been overlooking for years, sitting quietly in a dusty jar or forgotten drawer, turned out to be worth an eye-watering $10 million? That's exactly the astonishing truth behind the 1951 wheat penny, a small copper coin minted in San Francisco that has taken the numismatic world by storm and become the centerpiece of headlines, viral videos, and treasure hunts across the globe as collectors and ordinary folks alike scramble to find one of these ultra-rare, error-laden cents that has skyrocketed in value due to an extraordinary combination of historical context, production anomalies, and obsessive collector demand that transformed it from a piece of pocket change into a symbol of hidden fortune. And this is no coincidence but rather the result of a series of highly specific and rare occurrences during the coin's production process that make it a standout in the pantheon of American minting history. Starting with the fact that the early 1950s marked a post-war boom period where the US Mint was operating at full tilt to meet the economic needs of a recovering and rapidly growing nation, leading to the rushed and overloaded production cycles at facilities like the San Francisco Mint, which was known for its precision but also prone to unique mechanical and human errors due to aging equipment and the sheer volume of output. And it's within this environment that the legend of the 1951 wheat penny was born, with a limited number of coins struck with significant minting anomalies that would only be discovered decades later, starting with the infamous double die obverse where inscriptions like Liberty, the date 1951, and the motto "In God We Trust" appear duplicated or shadowed due to misalignment during the multiple strikes of the coin dies, creating a stunning and rare visual effect that collectors prize above all else. And when such a coin also boasts sharp features and near perfect condition with minimal contact marks or wear, its value soars into the millions, particularly when certified by top-tier grading services such as PCGS or NGC with mint state ratings of 65 and above, and even rarer are the few known examples that include a combination of errors, like a double die obverse paired with a repunched mint mark where the S for San Francisco was applied more than once, resulting in a distinctive and unmistakable layered appearance that sets these coins apart from the over 100 million regular 1951 pennies produced, the vast majority of which are only worth face value or a few cents at most. But in this microscopic handful of flawed yet magnificent specimens lies a collector's dream, fueled further by variations such as off-center strikes where the design is noticeably shifted from the center due to an improperly seated planchette, or broad strikes caused by a missing collar that allow the metal to spread outward in an irregular fashion. And let's not forget the planchette composition errors which occurred when leftover coin blanks from previous years or even from foreign coin batches were accidentally fed into the machines, creating coins of odd color, weight, or texture that don't match their contemporaries and must be analyzed using specialized equipment to confirm their true identity and rarity, all of which contribute to the astronomical valuation of the most flawless and error-rich 1951 wheat pennies. one of which shocked the numismatic community when it sold for over $10 million at a high-profile auction, causing a surge of interest among collectors and amateur treasure hunters alike and igniting a viral craze as people began checking their old coin jars, inheritance boxes, and even loose change in hopes of finding another such elusive gem, and stories began to surface, like the retired schoolteacher in Oregon who discovered a perfect specimen in a jar that had belonged to her grandfather and ended up selling it to a private collector for $8.7 million, or the teenage boy in Florida who found one during a school coin project and whose family's life was forever changed when it was confirmed to be a high-grade double die with full red coloration and sold for just under $10 million, and these modern-day treasure tales only serve to heighten the fascination with the 1951 sweet penny, leading to increased submissions to grading companies, more educational content on YouTube and social media explaining how to spot genuine errors and differentiate them from common wear or post-mint damage, and heated discussions on online forums as collectors debate whether the next record-breaking specimen will come from an unsearched roll, an estate sale, or perhaps from someone who unknowingly drops it in a vending machine or parking lot. And the reality is that while the odds are slim, they're never zero, and that tantalizing possibility is what continues to drive the 1951 mania, as prices steadily climb and even lesser varieties with minor doubling or partial off-center features now fetch thousands or tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition, while the top-tier examples become holy grails in numismatic circles. Exhibited in museums, purchased by elite investors, and watched closely by the media each time a rare example appears on the market, and all of this has propelled the 1951 sweet penny into legendary status, a beacon for collectors around the world, and a reminder that hidden value can be found in the most unexpected places, in something as small and overlooked as a copper coin from the 1950s. So before you dismiss that handful of pennies as nothing more than change, look closely. You just might be holding a multi-million-dollar piece of American history, and if stories like this spark your curiosity and ignite your imagination, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable discovery in the world of rare and valuable coins. Next, 1951 Wheat Penny USA coin, ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries and mind-blowing numismatic treasures where history meets mystery, and small copper coins can be worth more than luxury cars, sprawling estates, and even gold bars. And today we are unraveling one of the most exciting stories in the world of collectible currency, the incredible journey of the 1951 Wheat Penny, a simple 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts by reaching a jaw-dropping valuation of $6 million due to a unique combination of minting mistakes, rare error types, historical context, and collector demand that has elevated this unassuming piece of American history to an elite status within the rare coin community and across investment markets alike. And it all begins with understanding the origin and backdrop of this fascinating coin, as 1951 marked a significant year for the United States Mint, which was still riding the post-World War II wave of mass production to meet the growing economic needs of a booming nation, with coinage being produced in enormous volumes across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. And while most 1951 wheat pennies were struck without issue and circulated heavily throughout the decades, a small fraction left the mint bearing critical yet fascinating errors and imperfections that would not only survive the passage of time but would go on to become incredibly sought after by the most seasoned numismatists in the world. Starting with the most iconic and visually stunning of all minting anomalies known as the double die obverse, which occurs when the coin die responsible for pressing the coin's design shifts between impressions, causing inscriptions such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1951 to appear slightly or significantly doubled, producing a ghostly shadow effect that is unmistakable to trained collectors and, when found in well-preserved condition with bold and clear doubling, is valued astronomically. And this is just the beginning of the 1951 penny's strange and remarkable error potential, because we also have the repunched mint mark error, a subtle but powerful anomaly in which the letter denoting the mint's location, particularly the D for Denver or S for San Francisco, was manually punched into the die more than once, often at a slightly different angle, creating a layered or overlapping appearance that is clearly visible under magnification and incredibly rare in higher grades. And when one of these repunched mint-mark varieties is discovered with an otherwise clean strike and excellent luster, its value can jump into the hundreds of thousands, especially when verified by expert grading services like PCGS or NGC. But perhaps even more intriguing and desirable among collectors are the planchette errors that occurred when the blank metal disc intended to become a penny was either of the wrong composition or weight, resulting in off-metal strikes where the 1951 penny might be mistakenly struck on a dime planchette or a leftover bronze alloy from previous years, giving the coin a distinct appearance in color and sound and requiring careful metallurgical analysis to confirm. And because these types of planchette errors were so rare and usually caught early, any that escaped the mint and survived in circulation are considered numismatic gold mines. And it doesn't stop there, because another type of valuable mistake found in the 1951 wheat penny is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted from the center due to an improperly positioned blank during minting, creating a dramatic crescent of blank space that makes the coin instantly recognizable as an error, and even more valuable when the date and mint mark are still fully visible. And similarly valuable are the broad-struck errors, which occur when the retaining collar around the blank is absent during the strike, causing the coin to spread outward into a flatter and wider shape than normal and giving it a unique and often distorted appearance that collectors love. And these striking errors, when coupled with a well-preserved surface free of heavy scratches, corrosion, or cleaning, are highly desirable and can command massive premiums on the open market, especially when graded as mint state coins with designations like MS65, MS66, or even higher. And now imagine discovering a 1951 wheat penny that features not just one of these rare anomalies but a combination of them, a double die obverse with a repunched mint mark and a slightly off-center strike on a misaligned planchette. The odds of such a specimen existing are astronomical, yet a handful have been confirmed and documented. And it is precisely these ultra-rare combinations that have turned the 1951 wheat penny from common copper to $6 million stardom, with stories surfacing of collectors and even unsuspecting individuals stumbling upon such treasures in family heirlooms, coin rolls, or forgotten drawers, like the retired mechanic in Ohio who discovered a pristine 1951 D wheat penny with both doubling and a repunched mint mark tucked away in his grandfather's old war chest, or the young girl in Arizona who brought a collection of old coins to her school for a history project only to learn that one of them, a 1951 penny with a full red luster and visible planchette error, was appraised at nearly $5 million by an expert at a coin show. And these real-life discoveries continue to inspire and energize the rare coin community, setting off a wave of treasure hunting as collectors and enthusiasts scour their loose change, inherited collections, estate sales, and antique shops hoping to find another overlooked miracle hiding in plain sight. And as more people learn to recognize the signs of these valuable anomalies through YouTube videos, coin guides, social media posts, and online forums, the competition to find and submit these rare coins to grading companies increases, pushing up prices and creating an ever-hotter market for top-quality era coins from the wheat penny era, especially those from the early 1950s when technology was less automated and human intervention left more room for variation. And today a 1951 penny in ordinary condition may be worth only a few cents, but that rare example with the right era combination, preserved in mint state with its full copper brilliance intact, authenticated and certified by trusted graders, can become a life-changing asset worth millions, serving as a powerful reminder that value doesn't always lie in what something is meant to be but often in what it wasn't supposed to be, and that sometimes the greatest treasures are born from imperfections. So whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual hobbyist, or just someone with a curiosity about the change jingling in your pocket, take a closer look at every penny you come across, because the next big discovery could be waiting right there in your hands. And if this fascinating journey into the $6 million 1951 wheat penny has sparked your interest, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another amazing story about hidden riches, coin collecting secrets, and the incredible power of paying attention to the smallest details. Next 1950 wheat penny USA coin, hidden treasures come to life, and today we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of rare coins. A story that centers around a humble 1950 wheat penny that has stunned collectors, appraisers, and investors alike by commanding a mind-blowing value of $11 million, not for what it was intended to be, but for what went wrong during its creation, for the fascinating errors and minting mistakes that turned this simple copper coin into one of the most prized and talked about numismatic finds in history. And this is not just about a coin, but a narrative that combines historical context, production anomalies, obsessive collector demand, and the thrilling possibility that any ordinary person could stumble upon one of these rare gems in a coin jar, drawer, or inherited collection. And to fully appreciate why the 1950 wheat penny has reached such astronomical worth, we must begin by understanding the time and place it came from, the post-World War II United States, a nation riding the waves of industrial expansion and economic growth, and during this era, the United States Mint was producing vast quantities of coinage to meet the surging demands of commerce, with the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints running at full capacity, churning out millions of pennies each month. But in the midst of this pressure to produce, small errors crept into the process, errors that were overlooked at the time but would later become the distinguishing features that transformed certain 1950 wheat pennies into million-dollar rarities. And these errors are not only fascinating in their mechanics but also incredibly rare, starting with the famous double die obverse, where due to a misalignment of the dies used to strike the coins, key elements of the design such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1950 appear doubled, creating a ghostly shadow-like effect that immediately signals to experts that the coin is not ordinary but extraordinary. And even more remarkable are the few known examples where the doubling is crisp and visible to the naked eye, making these coins the most desirable among collectors. And then there are the repunched mint mark varieties, particularly those minted in Denver and San Francisco, where the mint mark was hand-punched more than once, slightly off-center, creating a distinct layered or shadowed appearance around the D or S that's visible under magnification and often overlooked by the untrained eye, adding another level of intrigue and value. And we cannot ignore the off-center strikes, where the coin was improperly positioned during striking, resulting in part of the design being cut off and a portion of the planchet remaining blank, with the degree of off-centering often determining the coin's value, especially when it's dramatic yet still retains readable date and mint mark. And in rarer cases, we find broad-struck errors, where a coin was struck without the collar in place, allowing the metal to spread outward, creating a wide, flattened appearance that stands out as an immediate anomaly. And then there are the most mysterious and hardest to detect, planchet composition errors, where the coin was struck on a blank intended for another denomination or a foreign coin, resulting in a penny that's heavier, lighter, different in color, or magnetic when it shouldn't be. And such errors are incredibly rare but have been confirmed in other years, making it entirely possible that 1950 saw its own share of rogue planchets slip through the cracks. And in each case, when these errors are combined with a coin in exceptional condition, often referred to as mint state, by grading services like PCGS and NGC, the value multiplies many times over, especially when accompanied by provenance, such as a known chain of ownership or prior auction results. And stories abound of collectors discovering these million-dollar mistakes in the most unassuming places, like the man in Michigan who found an ultra-rare double-die 1950 wheat penny in a coffee can filled with coins from his grandfather's attic, or the teenage girl in California who stumbled upon one during a school project and had it appraised, only to discover it was worth more than the house she lived in. And these incredible finds are no longer isolated events but part of a growing awareness and enthusiasm in the coin collecting community, driven by viral videos, online forums, expert interviews, and televised auctions that showcase just how valuable these tiny copper pieces can be when the right combination of error, condition, and rarity align. And in the case of the $11 million 1950 wheat penny, it was a specimen that stunned even the most seasoned collectors, featuring a rare combination of a double die obverse, repunched mint mark, flawless off-center strike, and a confirmed alloy anomaly that gave it a unique metallic signature, a coin graded MS67 by PCGS with full red luster and nearly flawless surfaces, setting off a fierce bidding war at a major international auction and eventually being sold to a private collector who now considers it the crown jewel of his multi-million-dollar collection. And what makes this story even more compelling is the reality that more of these coins could be out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who takes the time to look closely, to learn the signs, to understand what makes a coin valuable beyond its face value. And it's this possibility that continues to drive interest in the 1950 wheat penny, fueling a modern-day gold rush of sorts as collectors old and new examine their coins with renewed hope, aided by digital tools, online databases, and mobile apps that help identify potential errors and estimate values. And as demand continues to rise and the supply of high-grade error coins remains extremely limited, prices are expected to continue climbing, making the 1950 wheat penny not just a collector's item but a legitimate investment vehicle, a historical artifact, and a symbol of how the smallest imperfections can lead to the most perfect paydays. And for anyone curious about this world, who enjoys the thrill of discovery and the promise of treasure hidden in everyday objects, the 1950 wheat penny offers a captivating entry point, a story rich in detail, mystery, and opportunity. So if you found this story as fascinating as we did and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the secrets that could be hiding in your pocket change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories that just might help you find the next multi-million-dollar coin. Last 1946 wheat penny USA coin that uncovers the hidden value in the most unexpected places where stories of fortune, history, and unbelievable transformations unfold one coin at a time. And today we are diving deep into a remarkable tale that blends historical significance, minting anomalies, collector demand, and sheer numismatic mystery to reveal how a seemingly ordinary 1946 wheat penny has skyrocketed in value to an astonishing $8 million, turning what many might consider loose change into a legendary artifact that has stunned coin experts, fueled massive auction battles, and inspired thousands of collectors to comb through old coin jars and forgotten drawers in search of their own million-dollar miracle. Because while millions of 1946 wheat pennies were struck and circulated across the United States, it is a very tiny and incredibly specific subset of these coins that, due to a rare convergence of minting errors and preservation, has emerged as one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in American history. And to understand how this came to be, we must first set the stage by exploring the historical and production background of this fascinating coin. As the year 1946 marked the first full year of peace following World War II and the US Mint was transitioning from wartime restrictions back to civilian coinage production, with copper once again being used after years of experimentation with alternative metals like zinc-coated steel in 1943, and during this transitional period the mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were producing coins at high volumes while also working with aging equipment and varying levels of post-war resources and workforce training, which created the perfect environment for unintentional mistakes and mechanical inconsistencies that would later become priceless identifiers of rarity. And among the most significant and instantly recognizable of these errors is the double die obverse, a striking phenomenon where key features such as the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1946 appear doubled due to a misalignment in the die engraving process that causes a secondary, slightly offset impression on the coin. And when these doubled elements are strong and clearly visible, especially in coins that have been preserved with minimal wear and vibrant color, they command extraordinary prices. But the magic of the 1946 wheat penny doesn't end with doubling errors, because there are additional varieties that further elevate the coin's desirability, such as the repunched mint mark where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco appears layered or offset due to being hand-punched into the die more than once, a procedure that was common at the time and susceptible to minor human error, which now has massive implications for collectors, particularly when these repunched marks are bold and confirmed under magnification, adding significant premiums depending on their clarity and the overall grade of the coin. And then there are the off-center strikes which occur when the coin blank or planchette is improperly seated in the press during striking, resulting in a design that is noticeably shifted to one side with a blank crescent edge. And if the error is dramatic yet retains the full date and mint mark, the value soars even higher, especially when paired with an otherwise clean and undamaged surface. And even more rare are the broad-struck errors where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, which normally ensures that the coin maintains its standard size and thickness, leading to a wider, flatter appearance and often distorted features that grab the attention of experienced collectors who recognize the visual and structural uniqueness of such pieces. And we can't overlook one of the most intriguing and elusive categories of errors known as planchette composition errors, which happen when a coin is mistakenly struck on a blank intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin, which results in a penny that has an unusual weight, color, or metallic composition. And in 1946, during the post-war transition back to copper, these anomalies could have been caused by leftover wartime planchets or mistakes in mixing the copper and zinc alloy. And when such coins are tested and confirmed by advanced metallurgical analysis, they are virtually priceless due to their sheer rarity and the fascinating story they tell about the production environment of the time. And in the case of the most famous $8 million 1946 wheat penny, it was a perfect storm of these anomalies: an unmistakable double die obverse, a bold repunched mint mark, an off-metal planchette and near perfect condition with full red color, and an MS-67 grade that set off a bidding war among elite collectors at a private auction where the final price shattered all expectations and cemented this penny's place in history. And the fascination doesn't stop there, because this record-setting sale triggered a viral sensation across social media, YouTube, and online coin forums as treasure hunters and novice collectors began examining every 1946 penny they could find in hopes of uncovering another forgotten gem. And true to the spirit of modern-day treasure hunting, stories soon began to emerge of unexpected discoveries, like the elderly woman in rural Pennsylvania who had kept a small jar of wheat pennies from her late husband's coin collection and brought them to a local show only to discover that one of them was a rare broad-struck error in mint condition now valued at over $800,000, or the teenage boy in Texas who found a double-die 1946 penny in a roll he bought at a flea market for $5 and sold it months later for $2.5 million after it was authenticated and graded. And these stories continue to inspire a new generation of collectors who are learning to spot the subtle differences that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, and recognizing that errors, imperfections, and quirks once viewed as mistakes by the mint are now celebrated as the very qualities that drive value, interest, and historical importance. And as awareness grows and tools for identification become more accessible through apps, grading services, and digital communities, the hunt for valuable 1946 wheat pennies is only intensifying, with top-tier specimens now being viewed as alternative investments by collectors, dealers, and high-net worth individuals looking to diversify into tangible assets with cultural and historical value. And while many 1946 pennies remain common and worth only a few cents, the possibility that your coin could be a multi-million-dollar anomaly lies in the specific combination of rare error types, exceptional preservation, and authenticated provenance, which together form the ingredients for a life-changing discovery. And as supply continues to dwindle and more coins are locked away in private collections, the demand and value for top examples are projected to grow, making every new discovery a momentous event in the coin world. And this journey of the 1946 wheat penny from everyday object to multi-million-dollar artifact is a testament to the power of curiosity, attention to detail, and the enduring allure of the rare and the extraordinary. So before you dismiss that old penny in your drawer or that roll of coins from the bank, take a closer look, do your research, and know that treasures still exist waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to look. And if this story inspired you to learn more about the hidden world of valuable coins and the fascinating details that make them so special, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another incredible tale of history, mystery, and hidden fortune.